Stop chasing the noise. Most people are chasing the noise. They're chasing the whispers instead of going after the shouts. In the morning when you wake up, what do? Do you get after it or do you doom scroll on Instagram? When you get to the office, are you spending 2 or 3 hours looking at the new listings on the MLS in hopes that you're gonna send the perfect buyer that says, we're gonna buy sometime this year, but they've been saying that for 4 years now? Or do you get after it? Do you pick up the phone with confidence, with assuredness, the ability to have clear conversations with people that help move them forward? What do you do when it comes to tracking your stats in your business? Do you have clear KPIs that you say every day, no matter what, I'm gonna make 50 calls, I'm gonna have 5 conversations, bare minimum? Or are you just like, well, nobody picked up the phone today. Well, how do you know? Well, I mean, they did, but I didn't, they weren't, I don't count those people. Why don't you count those? Well, they weren't good conversations. And whose fault is that? I get it. This industry is horrible when it comes to training, when it comes to guidance. It's not necessarily your fault. Because the reality is most programs out there, most communities out there, they learned from the same people inside of this space. And so the guidance you're getting is regurgitated, watered down guidance from somebody who you already didn't really resonate with. And so you're out there trying these systems and listening to these gurus, but it's not working for you. And the reason why is because you're not using psychology to sell. You're using logic. You're trying to tell people about how this is the best time ever to buy. Well, if you watched my last video, which you can see here, actually 15% of homes in June, the highest on record in a long time, maybe ever, fell apart. And so is it really the best time to buy for everybody? Numbers would say it's not, because deals are falling apart at a higher rate than ever before. So what that tells us, right, is that people are scared, people are reluctant, people are getting cold feet, people are negotiating, people are feeling that the market's overpriced, they're feeling that it's not the right time, they're feeling scared. And when people have fear, let me tell you, ladies, when you want to talk to your man and you say, hey, honey, can we talk? And he tries to fix it, how does that make you feel? Not super great. And that's what we do with our clients. We talk through them and we talk actually down to them instead of having a two-way conversation with them, asking them why they feel that this is not the right thing to do and letting them share their experiences. Instead, we get an inspection report and there's a laundry list of items and they're saying, well, we already paid a lot of money for the house. Interest rates are already high. We're already fearful of a recession. We're scared that in our economy, right, in our market, in our hyper-local market, the market dynamics are shifting and we're going to be upside down if we need to sell. They're fearful of their jobs. And then you say, well, it's not that bad. And in their mind, they're like, you're an idiot. It's effing horrible out here. We are so scared. And so instead of us pushing them down, we need to bring them up. We need to let them have clarity. We need to give them a sounding board, but we're chasing what? We're chasing the whispers instead of actually having the real conversations. When you chase the whispers, when it comes down to negotiation, you're not allowing the prospect to remind themselves of the big picture. What's the big picture, Vikram? The overarching goal. It's what we teach inside of our program. It's what we teach inside of our community. And the reason we teach that is because everything is anchored, like a boat is anchored in the harbor with the anchor. The whole transaction is anchored with your overarching goal. And it's the ability to take the surface level problem, the whisper, probe and clarify, ask a series of 5 to 7 questions, and allow the prospect to expand on their pain. One of our clients that we're currently working with right now talked to the husband a few weeks ago. Hey man, can you talk to my wife? Yeah, what's up? Well, I want to move. Why do you want to move, bro? Your house is awesome. It's huge. Yeah, but the commute's horrible. How bad's the commute? It's about an hour each way. Each way? So what happens when you drop the kids off at school in the morning. Well, we just stay in that area of town all day. All day? What about if you have to do stuff at home? Well, if we have to drive back, and then we have to drive there, and then we have to drive back. So I actually got an office here now closer, which is fine for me. But when my wife is taking the kids, which she typically does, all these things happen. And how's that affecting you guys? Well, it's affecting us like this and like that and like that. And what does she feel? Well, I think she's concerned about having a $20K a month mortgage in this market. Okay. So what do you need me to do? I need you to work your woo-woo magic, Vic. What's the woo-woo magic? I need you to convince her. Well, I was like, bro, I can't convince anybody. He's like, you know what I mean? Because this is our third house we're buying together now. He says, just help her see that, like, we need to move. He's like, and I'm tired of being in this neighborhood. What don't you like about the neighborhood? You know, the demographic isn't quite our, like, cup of tea. It's not really the people we want to hang out with. Oh, okay. Well, where do you want to hang out? Well, we have a lot of our friends over here and over there. Okay. So why don't you just invite them to the house? Well, they don't want to drive over here. So far. Okay. How long has this been going on for? Chase the shouts. He's like, oh, dude, it's going on for like 3 years ever since we had actually, it's been going on for 4 years, 5 years. I was like, so what's changed now? He's like, well, now we got 2 kids. So now when we got the big one in school, we got the little one, like, what do we do with the little one? Like before when it was one, it wasn't that bad, but now we got the 2 kids. So now we got a little one that's with us. Oh, how's that impacting you? Oh my God, man. Like, we basically just sleep at the house now. Okay. So what do you think her concern is? I think it's the money. Okay, cool. Call her up. Don't chase the whispers, chase the shouts. First thing I said is, hey, if I were you, I probably wouldn't want to have a big 20K mortgage in this economy either. She goes, yeah, that's not really the problem. So really, tell me more. She's like, well, and then she goes into a bunch of personal things about how she grew up and how her house now is so different than her lifestyle as a child. And she's so scared of moving into a new house and losing what she built inside of this house. Oh, so it has nothing to do with what your husband thinks about? No. So why didn't you tell him this? Well, I did, but I didn't really explain it like I explained it to you. Why not? Well, because he might not understand. Why? Because his house was super different than mine. Oh, okay. And then we talked about her fears. Chase the shouts, not the whispers. Everybody thinks it's the money. That actually has nothing to do with the money. It had nothing to do with where the money is going to come from. Do we need to take money out of this account or that account? She says, that's not my job. I'm like, so are you concerned about the savings and where the money comes from? If we have to pull it from here or here? No. I go, why? She goes, Vic, you already know. I said, tell me more. She says, that's not my job. I find the house. He figures out how to pay for the house. He knows what's going to make me stay awake at night, and he knows what's not. So it's his job to go take care of the mortgage. It's his job to go take care of the financing. It's his job to do all that. It's my job to find the nest that's good for us, because he knows that he can trust me with that. And I know I can trust him with that. And I said, oh, okay. So where should we go from here? She's like, well, I think I'm ready to buy. I'm like, cool. The very next day, she's looking at houses, and she hasn't stopped like a machine for the last 3 weeks. Nothing to do with money. They're in a very expensive market. They're in a shifting market, and they're going up from, a couple $1,000,000 to $3 to $4 million, doubling their home value, doubling their mortgage payment, if not tripling. Have to realize that in business, we chase the shouts. We chase the top of the mountain. Why? Because that's where the money's at. That's where you anchor people in. That's when you get after it every day. It's not hard. How long have you been thinking about that for? What kind of impact does that happen? Stop driving. Write this down. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, they're not selling until they figure out where they're moving to in this economy. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, how long have you been feeling like you would like to have space for your children to run around in the backyard more so that they're not in the street or they're not going to the neighbor's house where you don't have control? How's it impact you to not have your children around you as much as you would like? How's it impacting you when the kids are fighting in the house? How's it impacting you having to leave the house and work from a coffee shop because you don't have a home office? How's it impacting you to not be able to entertain because your home is too small? The reason I moved into the place I live right now is that exact reason. I wasn't able to entertain, and it made me feel lonely. Because I wanted to entertain. I wanted to have friends over. I wanted to have a space to cook and barbecue. But nobody ever asked me that. They're like, oh, you want to be closer to the parties? I'm like, no, it's actually the exact opposite. I want to be closer to the people that I care about. We don't ask the right questions because we're chasing the qualification instead of chasing the actual overarching emotional reason that they're wanting to do something. You learn what we teach inside of our community to all of our clients, right? We just got a text this morning from one of our clients, 12 upcoming listings. Her pending board is at 5. She's going to close this year out with her best sales ever, probably close to 40, 50 deals. Solo agent, hardest economy that she's ever worked. And she's got more deals coming in right now than she's ever had before. Why? Because she changed how she communicated. She went from having conversations to having great conversations, to having two-way conversations with the prospect. She's getting more referrals now because she has a process. So what do you do when you're done prospecting? Do you just shut down your system and say, okay, that's what's that, done day? Or do you sit down and chase the shouts? What happened? How many calls did I make? How many conversations? How many appointments did I book? Do you actually track the loud numbers that are right in front of you that will dictate success or failure? Do you look at your call log and say, okay, well, I have 5 conversations today and none of them turned into an appointment. Huh, that's interesting. I mean, even on the low side, I could have got 1 appointment out of the 5. What happened? No, you do the same thing you did today, tomorrow, and then you do it again on Wednesday, and then you do it again on Thursday, and by 2 weeks in, you give up. Why? Because you're not getting any results. Every day you're having 5 conversations. Every day you're getting nothing for it. So every day you're getting a little less excited about it. And then what happens? Boom, poof, gone, done. What are the big, loud things in your business that you need to go after every day? You don't need to look at your MLS every morning at 9 o'clock. You don't need to check your email. You don't need to call escrow every day, title every day, your lender every day. Like, what do you actually need to do every day? What are the loud things? Do you know how to DM outreach people that are following you on social medias? Why not? Why haven't you learned the 3-step process on how to convert people that are already following you, that are liking your content? Because it's scary that they might say no to you. It's scary they might not respond to you. Who cares? You're chasing the whispers. Get after it every morning. When you wake up, what do? Are you practicing your frameworks? Are you writing out your frameworks? Are you studying? Are you saying the words on the page out loud so your brain hears them so that you get comfortable with them? Or are you just going through the motions, listening to another podcast, praying and hoping that somebody calls you ready to buy? Vic, I do great when I'm in front of people that want to work with me. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Who doesn't do great when you have somebody that work with you? But what about the 80 people you met in the last 2 months that chose not to work with you? Don't you want to get those people to work with you so that you can be at home at dinner with your family? You can pay for the trip to take them to, the Bahamas, Hawaii, skiing in Aspen. You can send your son out to the best soccer camp. You can get your daughter, right, the prom dress she wanted. You can buy them the car. You can put money away for retirement. You can buy that first rental property so you don't have to sell real estate every day your whole life. But you're not going to do that on 8 deals a year. We got to get to the coveted 2 deals a month. We got to get to 24 a year, 24 deals a year, which is exactly what I preach. 2 deals a month without having to buy leads is doable. If you know how to do open houses, if you know how to circle prospect, if you know how to convert the people you're being referred to at a higher level. Most people are getting 8 to 10, if not more referrals a year, but they're only closing 10 to 15, 20% of them. That's super low. If we can't close referrals at a 50, 60, 70, 80%, how are we going to close Zillow leads? How are we going to close Facebook leads? How are we going to convert online? Well, it's easier with people you don't know sometimes. Is it? So here's the thing. You can either do what you're doing or you can win more deals. The choice is up to you. I'll see you soon.